Hello! Let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Paper Route by Rangsk. You might note, by the way, that I'm not Rangsk. I am ZetaMath, and I stream over on ZetaMath Does Puzzles. So if you like this and want to see more 6x6s, I often end streams with those, as well as other puzzles. But let's get started on this puzzle by Rangsk. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, so I have to put 1 through 6 in every row, column, and box. We have German whisper rules, which are a little weird in that they're different in 6x6 and 9x9. But in 6x6, we have to make sure that every pair of digits along the line differ by at least 3. So, for example, if I put a 5 here, I can only put a 1 or a 2 here. 3 is not allowed because those only differ by 2. We have blue minimum cells. So this is going to be interesting because I think we're not going to be able to color here for a German whisper, which is what you would usually do. These blue minimum cells are smaller than the non-minimum cells that share an edge. So we have these little like less than signs here pointing in. This digit is smaller than these 3. Of course, these can't both be, that can't be smaller than that simultaneously with that being smaller than that. That doesn't work. So sort of, we have a little zone here where all of these things are bigger. And these are maximum cells, which work the same way except backwards. So we have, these are bigger than those things around. All right, so this seems like a natural place to start for me. It's a little bit interesting here that we have that sort of like all of these are smaller than all of these. Granted that along a German whisper, we always have this sort of parity thing going where we sort of alternate back and forth between 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So at least one of these numbers is low. So at least one of these is 1, 2, 3, and these numbers are lower than that. Okay. Now, it's probably worth noting that we have some basic things like none of these numbers can be 1 because there's no number less than 1. So there's definitely a 1 up here, and the 1 that's up there does not go here. Because 1 is not bigger than anything. So then, likewise, we don't have any 6s down here. So we know there's a 6 over there. We know there's a 1 over here, is the kind of thing that I am now inclined to think about. We know the 1 in this box has to be in here as well. So I just want to run the experiment real quick on... yes, the experiment. Got it. Okay, so I had to think one step further ahead than I was originally going to. So my gut instinct told me, remember, these two are either both high or they're both low. My instinct told me them both being low was a problem, but I didn't see why, other than that it was going to make this really constrained. But it actually does something really nice. So if these are both low, remember they're not 1. So if these are both low, they're a 2-3 pair. That makes this a 6, because 6 is the only digit that's at least 3 away from 3. But the reason that breaks is because this digit has to be smaller than that one. That was the thing that I was missing, was that the 6 in this box is sort of constrained away from being in this cell. So therefore, these aren't both low, because if these are both low, this is a 6 breaking that cell. So these are all high, and I can just sort of percolate that all the way along the line, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, like that. Then 1, 2, 3 over here. Brief panic check to make sure I hit the record button before I started. So secrets of the German whispers tell me this can't be a 4, because if this is a 4, I would need it to be next to 2 1s. Likewise, this can't be a 4 because that would need to be a 1. So actually, these are a 5, 6 pair. which is interesting because it means this number is at most 4. However, actually, you can do a cute thing here where you can notice that one of these two cells has to be a 4 because I'm putting a 4 somewhere in this box. However, if I make this one the 4, I'm obligated to put a 1, 2, or 3 here, and that does not work. So in fact, the 4 goes there. Oops. So sorry. If I make this the 4, then I only have 1, 2, and 3 left, none of which are bigger than 4. So therefore, this is the 4, to try and say that in a coherent way. And so this is a 1, 2, or 3. Oh, and it's not a 3 for the record. In fact, this can't be a 3 either, for a similar point of what I did with a 4. 3 is only 3 away from 6, so that has to be a 2. And 6... Sorry, no, 6 is fine either way, at least nominally. Sorry, those are 1, 3. So we can do our sort of magic roping thing, fill in the 2, 5, 6 over there, fill in the 1, 3, 4 over there. Remember, this digit is less than 2. So fun fact, that is the digit that is less than 2. There are no other options. And this digit is larger than a 4, 5, or 6. So this digit itself can only be 5 or 6. And that one, remember, can't possibly be 6 because this digit is bigger than it. And that bounces back here because, remember, 3 only goes next to 6. Why did I ever have this pencil marked as being able to be a 3? It could never have been a 3. Both of those would have been 6, whatever. Anyway, this was never going to be a 3, but now it's super not 3. So we have our 1, 3 over there going on like that. So apologies to those of you who were shouting about that the whole time. I'm sure there were many of you. This number is less than this 1, 2, 3. There are clues over here in this part of the grid as well, it turns out. So this can only be a 1 or a 2, and that can't be a 1. This, by the way, super can't be a 4. I say that because both it doesn't go next to that, and it would go in the middle of 2 things, so that's not a 4, which actually gives us a 5, 6 pair in the row, which has, of all things, made this a 4, made this a 1, which has now made that a 2, which is less than only 3, which has made both of these 6, which has made this a 5, over here. 6, no 1 here, no 3. Okay, so that means this digit needs to be less than 6 and less than this. So I guess if I fill in this pair, I will be done with this box because there's a 4 and a 5 left, and the 4 is less than the 5. So that gives us our 2, 5 over there. We need our 2 here. These are 1, 3, 6 up here. I saw right away the 2 1s turned red, so that means none of those are 1, and that is. This is a 3 or a 6 down here. Oops. One moment. I have spilled tea all over myself. I will record this or finish the rest of this puzzle after I unspill tea all over myself. I don't know how I did that. One moment. Okay, that was more adventure than I was expecting in this Sudoku adventure. But let us finish this Sudoku adventure. I seem to have at the very end there, before this, entered the wrong digit here. So this is a 3 or a 6. Oh, I turned this off. That's why it's not working. See, that is not a 4. These are 1, 2, 3. This is not a 1. Okay, so here's the point here, actually. These are 4, 5, and 6. Well, I already know that's not a 6. But this 4, 5 has to be less than both of these cells. Well, if this isn't a 4, then this is. And that's going to be a huge problem, because then I will be saying 5 is less than 4. That doesn't work. So this has to be the 4. Being less than the 5, 6. Let's see. And so this is, well, one of these is a 2. Same idea. One of these is a 2. If I make this a 2, I need to dream up a number that's less than 2 that isn't 1, so that's not going to work. So therefore, that is the 2, which makes that the 3. 1, 4, 3, 2. 6 and 5 go in, 1 goes there, 4 goes there. And so now we need a number. These need to be 5, 3, 6. Which I'm sure is disambiguated by something. Oh Lord. Disambiguated by this 5 is less than, this 5 is bigger than clue. 5 is not bigger than 6. So that is a 3 and a 6 and a 5 and a 6 and a 5 and a 6 and a 3 to end what was more of an adventure than I perhaps signed up for. But thanks for watching, and bye for now.